What's going on? So I don't do a lot of audio recordings, but I think I want to do a little bit more. If you're listening to this, it's because you found the link from our Subtalk email. So for those of you who aren't part of the Subtalk email list, this is a private community where I send weekly emails. Every Sunday, I typically send a longer type of email where it's a little more nuanced, a little more detailed. And this week, I think I got a little carried away. And so I decided that I would summarize it into a, 200 to 250 word email that gave you the basic outline of the message that I wanted to put out this week, and figured I'd make an audio only recording so that I can fully explain my full writing. In this video, what I'm going to be addressing are simply two things that any subcontractor needs to ingrain into their brain to be able to really see the growth that they've been dying to see. There are two things you need to grow as a subcontractor. The two big topics that we're going to cover is going to be outreaching, and then being able to do that consistently and forming a habit around that. So unfortunately, we all know that we can get motivated for spurts at a time, 1 week, a day, maybe an hour, but that is not going to be enough, right? Because if it were enough, we would all have already 2x our business the same exact moment we send out the first 10 emails. Okay. And just to share with you guys, in fact, it has taken us more than 3,000 outreach attempts to build our subcontracting business to what we are today. Something really amazing. For some of us, it's going to be as simple as implementing a CRM system and nurturing your current leads. You may not need to go out and build a whole new list of 300 new contractors. You may already have a list of excellent contractors you've worked with in the past. What you need to do is organization with the CRM system, and then form the habit of daily outreach to those contractors. And for the rest of us, what we really need to do, if you don't have a system, if you aren't really seeing that traction and that momentum that you want to see, we need to take a step back and pin down the exact service that we want to provide. Build a list of potential clients that we can offer that service to, and understand the importance of daily habits so that we can form the consistency and in the long run get the compound interest that we need to be able to see our business literally explode. So looking back, the biggest unlock for me was when I learned how to break down my growth into daily targets. There's an email I sent in the past that is called my rule of 5. So I started off with simply focusing on sending out 5 new emails a week, following up with 5 previous clients that we've interacted with, and then setting 5 follow-ups for the next week to be able to do. Okay, that's my rule of 5. Very simple, because the biggest unlock for me happened whenever I stopped trying to send 25 emails every day, Monday through Friday, and just said, you know what? I need to simply make sure that I send out 5 a week. That's 1 a day. I went back 10 steps and just said, I need to make this simple, because I understood that forming the habit was what was going to get me to be able to eventually send out 25 emails a day. Right now, I am sending out about anywhere between 300 to 400 emails a week, and it's all completely hands-off. But I have formed that habit. That is where I want you guys to get to. However, we need to first start off and make sure that our mentality is where it needs to be, and that we understand why taking simple steps right now, although it delays the gratification, although it delays the results that we want to see, will ultimately make those results explode at a rate that you wouldn't even imagine. Now, to get into the writing that I have prepared for you guys. See, one thing that I realize is that most subcontractors treat getting new work kind of like the lottery. Right? They go and they post a generic, I'm looking for work on a marketplace post, or they'll comment the service that they provide on every post where other people are looking for that service. Okay. And then after they go and just bombard the Facebook marketplace with their comments and their posts, they sit there and they pray that some client just picks their comment and a sea full of subcontractors who are only beating down each other's prices. Right? Now, after sending thousands of outbound emails over the last 2.5 years, I've learned one important lesson. The secret to getting consistent work has nothing to do with being the first to comment on job posts. In fact, the secret is understanding that your lack of work is because you haven't made your outreach a daily habit. We as subcontractors, we're builders. We're not marketers. This goes against the natural tendencies that we have. Our default mode, right? The natural thing for us is saying yes. It's saying yes to just taking on more work. It's saying yes even when we know we don't have the manpower to do so, right? And oftentimes it's even offering other scopes that we really don't even have any idea how they go. But we have a broken belief that if we add more work, we will make more money and ultimately grow. We're always adding to our plate. We're never subtracting. Right? No one ever tells you, hey, stop doing this. Stop taking on more work. Stop making money for 30 days so that you can make more money in the next 90. No one tells us that. That goes against our natural habit of thinking that if we have more work, we will make more money. See, and this creates what I call the false volume cycle, where there's too much work to realize you're not growing. Your sales follow-ups are just sitting there in your phone or in your CRM or in your notes for weeks without touching them because we just avoid them. Where in order to have an opportunity to grow, it requires you to learn skills that you don't have time to learn because you don't have time other than to fulfill all of the poor quality work you've been saying yes to. This is what happens when most subcontractors fall into the lazy outreach trap. Here's how it works. They'll sit there and say, hey man, I need more work. But they have said yes to so much crappy work that they're too busy to actually work on effectively outreaching to substitute the poor work for quality work. And then what that leads is you just sit there and procrastinate and say, okay, man, I'll learn how to do email marketing later. I'll learn how to do ads later. And that later just turns into months and then years and then maybe decades. And when you do decide to take that step forward, we always think our solution is to go onto Marketplace or any online forum and copy and paste generic looking for work posts. And then again, we just hope that a quality contractor somehow magically awards us work that is going to give us, a great return on all of our input. But here's the reality. You're solving the wrong problem, right? Because nobody taught us the right way to solve the inconsistent work constraint that we all deal with. The issue isn't writing better posts. It isn't writing better copy. It's understanding what problems you actually need to solve. But the best part is that it's actually much easier to solve if you know exactly what to focus on. This is what I call the pain first message. When I realized we needed better outreach to attract quality GCs, I didn't go online to post looking for work copy, right? I didn't go to Facebook Marketplace to see who needs my service and try and get work like that. What I did was I simply sat down and I wrote a raw email message, and I'll read to you the first email message that I actually sent. Here it is. My name is Raimundo Marquez. I am the sales manager here at Don Hughes Construction, a hardy siding and stucco provider. We are interested in possibly becoming a trusted vendor for your siding and stucco needs. We are 100% bilingual and insured. We pride ourselves in communication, quality, and meeting our GC's completion dates in a timely manner. If your team is evaluating new vendors, we'd appreciate the opportunity to submit proposals for any upcoming work or schedule a meeting. Please feel free to reach me at my email or my phone number with any questions or concerns you may have. We look forward to the opportunity to work together. This email generated us our first reply from a custom home builder. His name was Anthony. 2 years later, Anthony still sends us opportunities, and we're still fulfilling for them. But the biggest lesson here is that you need to stop thinking about a perfect message and you need to start thinking about simply executing. I didn't sit there and say, oh my goodness, what should my email say for it to be perfect? What format does it need to be? How many words does it need to be? What does my subject line need to say? I didn't think of any of that. I just simply said, I gotta send them. I just executed. Because the secret key is this. These smart subcontractors get excited about executing for tomorrow, not about filling today with low quality work. Okay. Now I'm going to go through 4 different steps. Step 1 is going to be you have to understand your pain. Step 2 is going to be problem solution matching. Step 3 is finding the solution. And step 4 is implementing. All right. So step 1, understand your pain. You want to set a 20-minute timer for this. This is something that you can do on a Saturday, on a Sunday morning. And you're going to write down every single thing that causes you stress, frustration, or things you've noticed cause you to miss opportunities. Now, there are 4 categories that we want to think about when we're writing down these pains. Number 1 is operational pain. What's broken or insufficient in your business? Do you have crew members who don't like to show up, who are constantly calling off, who drink on site, who aren't capable of doing quality work? That could be an operational pain. Category number 2, capacity pain. What jobs can you not get to and why? The jobs that you're falling behind on, why are you falling behind on those? Do you not have enough manpower? Do you have too many people on site and maybe you're paying too much overhead on a daily rate, so you're not getting as many profits? Okay. Category number 3, skill pain. This is the hardest because it makes us look into our ego, right? What do you suck at? Okay. Maybe you're super good at running the crew and being hands-on. Okay. Then you need to realize that you suck at marketing and you need help with that. Maybe if you're like me, I'm really good at marketing and systems, but I suck at being out in the field. Okay. Identify what skill you suck at. And then we go into category number 4, growth pain. What opportunities are you consistently missing? Why are you missing them? Right? Do you get people to show up at your job site and say, hey, I have an opportunity for you, but you forget to follow up with them? Okay. Is that how you're missing most of your opportunities? Because you think that just writing it down or texting yourself that you got to individual who stopped by and said, hey, I have an opportunity. Are you missing them because you're lacking a system that reminds you to follow up with these? These are the 4 categories we want to think about when we're understanding our pains. Then we move on to step number 2, problem solution matching. Okay, you want to translate each one of those pain points that you've identified into specific challenges or tasks that you can work on in the next 90 days to solve. I'm going to give you 3 different examples. Example number 1, the pain is, I have too much work and not enough profits. So the challenge then would be, what clients can I say no to and which ones can I increase my prices on? That would be a challenge that, when done correctly, will either decrease your work and increase your profits, or simply decrease your work so you can replace them with better clients. Example number 2. The pain here is, these leads are just sitting around for weeks without touching them, without following up with them. Well, the question you would then ask yourself, for the challenge you would give yourself for the next 90 days is, how can I implement a system that gives me daily reminders and allows me to respond to all my leads within 2 hours? What kind of system can I set in place so that I can make sure no lead is left behind? Nothing falls through the cracks. Example number 3. The pain here is, I have no idea how to market and which type of marketing will actually work for me. So your challenge and your task for the next 90 days would be something along the lines of, I need to identify which outreach method I feel the most comfortable with, whether that's sending text messages, whether that's running ads, whether that's calling, whether that's emailing, and I need to make the decision to stick to it for 90 days. Okay, that is step number 2. So step number 1 is, you need to identify what current pain points do you have that need to get solved. Step number 2 is understanding that pain point and then pinning down a way to solve each of those pain points. And step number 3 is going to be finding the solutions. See, the secret sauce here is, you need to look for proven systems that get amplified by these challenges, not systems who just look cool, right? What I mean by this is, when you realize what you need to solve for and you realize how you can solve it, there are systems out there that make this simple, okay? You don't want to get caught up in this whole AI automating it 100% for you. Don't think about it. Just run your business bullshit that a lot of people are pushing, because you're going to miss setting the habits. You're going to miss the importance of setting the foundations to your constraints. Okay, here's something that you can ask yourself. What type of system was made to solve this exact problem? See, if your problem is that you're not following up with your opportunities that come across your desk, it's a simple CRM. A CRM that doesn't have to do anything else other than remind you every day who you have to contact and what you have to contact them about. Now, there are free, if you do a Google search, there are free versions of this that I used in the first 6 months of our business that literally help you do this. In step 3, what you're looking to do is simplify. You're not just adding more to your plate. You're not looking to complicate. You're looking to simplify. Okay, that was step number 3, which is finding the solutions. Now, in step number 4, we're going to be talking about implementation, right? How do you implement all of this? So after you do step 1, which is understand your pain points, your constraints, you then understand each constraint or pain point and understand the solution that could match and turn that around for you in 90 days. Once you have those solutions, now you find the systems that will simplify those solutions for you. And now, after all of this, we go into adding our non-negotiable implementations. These are going to be things like, how will you hold yourself accountable? How are you going to make sure that every day you send out at least one email, that you follow up with at least one previous client, and that you set at least one task for the next week so that you can follow up on a future opportunity? Okay. What main service would you like to communicate? Stop thinking that if you offer more scopes, you're going to make more money. Pin down the one trade that you understand above all else. For me, that was stucco. I understand stucco a lot more than I understand siding. I'm very good at both of them, but stucco had an advantage over siding. And so in my first emails, I focused on only saying stucco. You want to find that trade within your business. And then how will you ensure that you execute this daily? Are you going to set alarms every morning so that you can remind yourself to send out that email, so that you can remind yourself to set up a follow-up, so that you can remind yourself to find a new email online? Okay. How are you going to ensure that you execute this daily? So now I want to give you a real example, and I call this example the marketing type transformation, right? So the traditional approach is, like I've been saying, the Facebook marketplace posts. And I go to this because I did this myself, because at the beginning, I thought that that's where I would find clients. And I see so many people doing this, right? They'll go on to these Facebook Marketplace posts or groups and post something that says something like, give us a call if you need help with your siding needs. We're licensed and insured. Here's our phone number. Free estimates, right? That's the traditional approach. And if you've done this, which I myself did, like I said, we can both testify that that came with very rare results. Now, here's a value message, okay? This is actually the exact email that I'm sending out today to all of my contractors that I'm looking to work with. Here's what it reads. Hi, noticed we work the same neighborhoods you build in. We're the subs who actually show up. No drama, no excuses, bilingual. Here's what that looks like. Your bids on time, every time. Clear communication. You'll know exactly where our scope stands. And we answer our phones even after you pay us. So far, 35 projects done. Only 2 of those ran late. That's a 94% on-time delivery. Builders who keep calling us back. Insert reference number 1, insert reference number 2, insert reference number 3. Any project starting soon? Hit reply with the project details. P.S. Want to see our work? I'll send you 3 recent projects in your area so you can see for yourself. Right, so what's the difference between these 2 emails? Well, the first attracts low quality contractors who are only looking for the lowest bid. Those job posts that we do on Facebook Marketplace are literally just a sea of subcontractors who are constantly beating up each other on price points. And the contractors that are looking for subcontractors in these forums know this, and they'll tell you, we only want labor. They don't only want to give you turnkey projects, which are labor only, are like, if we don't have anything else, is the only time I would consider a labor only project. But if we have work and a labor only project comes into our world, I immediately say no and turn the other way, right? That's the last case scenario. All right. Now, the second email that I just read to you, it actually attracts quality driven contractors who are looking for subcontractors with great execution. This may sound basic to you, but the following is powerful. Do not underestimate the power of speaking directly to the perfect GC through the message that you crafted with their problems in mind. So why does this work, and why does this attract quality contractors? See, in our business, when we begin sending emails, we had opportunities within the first 30 days. Not because we sent thousands of them. We actually sent less than 200. But because we were clear about the specific value that we provided to high-end GCs that we knew they appreciated but lacked. See, I sat and I studied, what do high-end contractors want to see in a subcontractor? Once I answered that pain point that I was looking to solve, I then said, okay, these are the top 3 things that they want to see. Clear communication, on-time delivery, and executing what we said we were going to execute on. Okay, so why does this attract quality GCs? When you communicate that you understand their problems clearly, the right GCs recognize the value you'll be able to provide. See, that generic "we need work" emails tell them you don't really even know how you'll benefit them. But on the other side, if you send them specific problem-solving emails, that tells them you're a serious company with real value you're able to provide to them. We're talking about serious high-end builders, multi-million-dollar builders who want to hire serious high-end subcontractors to do serious high-end custom work that they have their name behind. So the least that we can do is take our outreach process seriously. Every one of these quality GCs have a certain perspective, and I want to summarize what that is for you. A quality contractor that reads your specific email thinks, hey, this sounds like the exact subcontractor I want on my job sites, which is way different from, I guess I'll save this subcontractor's information in case I need them in the future. I actually found that happened to us a lot in the beginning, because the magic wasn't just creating emails and copy and sending them. The magic was causing a contractor to think, finally, a subcontractor that gets it. Even better, when I finally got them to tell themselves, hey man, these guys are speaking to me. Now, how did I do that, you may ask? The biggest thing for me was inserting those reference points. You have to be able to include 3 to 4 of the top references that you may have into those emails. Those tell them that you're a sub who already works on high-end custom builds. It tells them that you're already reliable. It tells them that these contractors, which if they're good contractors, they will most likely recognize their names. It tells them that if they're giving you repeated work is because to some degree, they're happy with the execution that you've provided. Now, all of this may seem like a lot, but I want to tell you, you can literally pin down all of this information if you truly just put your phone aside for 60 minutes. Here's the breakdown. For the first 20 minutes, you want to simply just spend 20 minutes understanding your pains, writing down all of the reasons why you think you're not growing right now. Okay. For the next 20 minutes, you want to spend time converting your top 3 to 5 pain points into challenges and tasks that you can work on for the next 90 days. After that, spend the next 10 minutes identifying what type of system simplifies these challenges and these tasks that you're taking on in the next 90 days for you. And finally, in the last 10 minutes, you want to add requirements that you need to execute. Requirements like a certain time blocked off every morning or every evening to make sure that you review all your emails or that you schedule your emails. Okay. Time blocking is essential. You want to spend those last 10 minutes understanding where can we fit this new schedule that I need in order to see my business grow. Now, there's a way that you can test your approach, right? You can definitely test this. And this is probably going to push you way outside of your comfort zone. But if you're able to, and you're willing to take on the challenge, then here's how I did it. And maybe some of you guys can try it. Read your problem statements, right? Your pain points and the way that you think you can solve those for contractors to a contractor that you trust and you're comfortable with. We all have at least one contractor who in one way or another has mentored us and gave us advice. Go to them. Tell them, hey man, let me read these problems and solutions to you and just be honest with me. Give me your feedback. Okay. And what you want to listen for when they give you the feedback is, do they understand what you're looking to solve? Do they understand the value you're looking to provide? Can they picture themselves receiving this level of service and get excited about it? And would they say, man, this is the exact subcontractor I would kill for? If you can get a contractor to really feel that from your problem and solutions and your game plan for the next 90 days, you're on the right path. Now all you got to do is execute. Now there are some red flags that are going to tell you that you're still thinking wrong. Okay. Now I feel like these are going to be super common, but I really wish someone had taught me the obvious approach to this process. Okay. If you can switch your thinking and filtering, it's going to help you instantly. These were 3 of my amateur mistakes. I did these at the beginning and I really wish I had somebody to simply tell me, dude, those are so obvious. Stop doing those. Number 1 is focusing on years of experience instead of specific problem solving ability. Meaning, don't think that by saying we have over 25 years of experience, don't think that that's going to be worth more than you saying, hey, the minute you give us the last check, we're going to continue to answer your phone because I know subcontractors don't come back to do the punch list item for you. Those are 2 very different messages, right? Lean more to the specific problem solving ability. Mistake number 2, stop using false industry assumptions of value. And what I mean by this are free estimates, okay, instead of clear problem solutions. So a free estimate isn't valuable. A free estimate is found all over Facebook Marketplace. Telling somebody that you will give them their proposal back within 3 days at 8:30 a.m., it'll be in their inbox, is a different type of value rather than a free estimate. Don't lean on free estimates. And mistake number 3 is thinking that if we listed more scopes or more services, we were going to be seen or perceived as more valuable than simply focusing on one. Here's what happens when you get this right. Instead of posting generic copy on social platforms, you're going to actually attract quality contractors who are genuinely excited to award you with an opportunity. As a matter of fact, during a recent opportunity that we generated, I think like 2 weeks ago, the contractor actually told us, the way that you describe the service you provide and the references you included on your first email was exactly what we've been looking for. Because they told me that they have to go between 3 to 5 different exchanges of emails just to ask for builders, ask for references, ask for emails. Like, no, we send that on email number 1. On email number 1, we're answering all of the questions that we know that are going to follow, so that we can be quicker to getting a opportunity sent to us rather than 3 to 4 emails answering questions that we already have the answers to, right? Because when you know their real problems clearly and you communicate that to them specifically, you're not just sending emails anymore. It's kind of like you're matchmaking. It's kind of like you know exactly what they're looking for, and you're going to make yourself be that subcontractor so that they can say, yes, this is the guy we've been waiting for. It sounds cheesy, I know, but trust me, this works. Okay, and to summarize all of this up and wrap this audio version up for you guys, I want to share with you the bigger picture. All of this framework, this sitting down and asking yourself, what are the pain points? This applies beyond just your outreach. Having and being able to have clarity of your problems leads to having clarity of the solutions that your business needs and that you as an entrepreneur and as a CEO need in order to make good decisions. And the best part is you already know all of your current problems. So you are more than halfway to seeing the growth that you want. Your biggest frustrations have become my favorite puzzles to solve. I literally sit here and say, what was I so annoyed about in the first 6 months of business? And how can I make that easier for all of my members inside of the Subsets community? My secret isn't pushing ads. My secret isn't offering you guys mentorship. My secret is simply helping you find and understand the next version of you and your business by being honest about what's actually broken, because it was the same things that were broken in our business, and not focusing on what sounds impressive on paper. Because it's pointless to tell you that we've generated close to $6 million at this point if you're just focused on generating 10,000. There's going to be too much of distance between that for you to think that what I'm telling you is possible. But instead, I can simply tell you, if you have one client, you're ahead, and use this framework to get to 10. Remove the dollar amount, remove your ego, and simply focus on executing. Okay, so if you're a subcontractor that's looking to grow, feel free to browse my channel. There are episodes that I have created with you in mind on my YouTube channel to help you grow, to help you go from one client to 10, from $0 to $100,000. And I do it all because I am extremely grateful for what we've been able to achieve from the work that I've been able to put. When I started, I tried to find this information and there was none out there. I don't ask for anything in return. I'm not looking to sell you any kind of mentorship. All I ask is for a simple like on this video, a comment, maybe share it on your social medias. And if you could tag me on Instagram, that will mean the world to me. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.